This week might have been the craziest week of my entire high ticket closing journey, potentially of my life. And honestly, now that I realize it definitely was, because since Monday, today's Sunday, I've cash collected $37,000, almost $38,000 total. So that's about arguably like $3,750 worth of commission this week. Highest day ever I did this week on Monday was 19.5K cash collected, and today I just did $10,000 cash collected. I was out last night with my boys, had a couple of drinks, was definitely buzzed, didn't get home till midnight, smoked cigars, had a nice dinner, woke up this morning, couldn't even get done my morning routine. Crazy, right? And what I've noticed here is that I've been able to go through a lot of different changes because, number one, about 3 weeks ago, I ended up investing into a mentor, someone who I trust so much, it's actually insane. And he's helped me make literal crazy jumps in literally 2 weeks of working with him. This week is my second week. And number two, I think the biggest lesson that I've learned throughout the entirety of my start with my mentor, but also the changes that I've implemented to actually be able to collect $38,000 in a week, $19,000 in a fucking day, 20K in a day, right, basically, is the fact that everything comes down to your intention and your mindset. And the biggest thing here, the biggest thing that most people tend to forget is that you're never gonna have the right mindset and you're never gonna have the right intention if you can't see the best version of yourself. Now, this is a very vague topic that I really want to cover here. And I think it's important for you to realize that, like, I'm not claiming that I know everything. I'm not claiming that I am the best version of myself right now. But what I am claiming to know is the fact that I can actually see a future version of myself on the timeline. And since I've been able to connect with him much closer, that's exactly when everything started to change. And it's important that I actually relay this message correctly, because here's the thing. Past couple of days, I've definitely felt disconnected from him, right? Had a tough midweek this week, but in all reality, I was able to get back on it solely because I started to set my intention right. Therefore, my mindset redeveloped, right? It got back to that point where I know it should be, I know it could be. That's why I was able to collect $10,000 today, literally made $1,100 today. And that's why I was able to collect that 19.5K day. Like, yeah, sometimes it is a big portion of it that leads, right? But it's also your ability to close, your ability to show up as the best version of yourself. So the point that I'm trying to make here is that you can be so down bad, like literally the worst down you've ever been in your life. But if you can actually connect with a future version of yourself who is living an outcome that you can see yourself right now living, that's when everything's gonna change. For most people, I feel like that day never comes because they never actually get to the point where they get clarity, where they get clarity in what they want. For me, a big part of that clarity was actually working with a mentor and having him work with me on the same processes that work for him. Really what it just comes down to is intention, mindset, journaling, routine, and really just identifying as that person that you know you want to become, that you see on the map in the future. But I know what my future self looks like. I know what he dresses like. I know his energy. I know what he's doing. I know what he's accomplished. I know what he wants to do afterwards. That's giving me this kind of, I don't want to say kind of, it's giving me certainty in terms of what I need to do today in order to get there. And until you have that like crystal clear clarity, you just can't expect yourself to be greater than you already are. I think right there, that's the lesson. You can't expect yourself to be greater than you already are if you can't see yourself in the future. If you don't have the right mindset, if you don't have the right intention behind everything. So I hope that helps. I'm out of breath, I'm on a walk, but really what it comes down to is actually just taking the necessary steps. And once you do, everything changes, I swear.